Hi, let's talk about Chapter 6. Number 7 is your assignment, Chapter 6, Number 7, Algorithm. A program uses a character variable named department and two double variables named salary and raise. The department variable contains one of the following letters entered in either upper or lower case, A, B, C, or D. Employees in departments A and B are receiving 2% raise. Employees in department C are receiving a 1.5% raise. And employees in department D are receiving a 3% raise. Using the switch statement, write the code to calculate the appropriate raise amount. So let's talk about this a minute. I don't have up my normal algorithm sheet here. I just needed a little bit more room. Same components though. Your book tells you you are going to have a department variable named character. When you put a character out with the chart, it gets initialized with a single quote, a space, and a single quote. So just keep that in mind. They will also enter a salary, which your book tells you straight out is double. Your book also tells you that the raise that you will show how much the raise amount is double. So I'm going to come down here and add double in here. Okay. Can't spell, can I? Bear with me 1 sec. And raise percent would also be double because why? It has a decimal point in it. So basically, these are your variables. Could there be more? Possibly. Do we have a processing item? Not as far as I see right now, because I'm going to ask you, because what I would determine would be a intermediate value, which would be the raise, is actually output. Okay, now let's go over, and I'm going to try to get on one sheet. There we go. Look at the algorithm. So from your text, it says the department variable will determine which percentage raise. The user also has to enter the salary, so you would know what to calculate the raise off of. So as usual in our programs in this class, something gets entered. They're going to enter department and they're going to enter salary, okay? Now, interestingly about department is that department is a letter, A, B, C, or D, and your user can enter it in upper or lower case. It says that. So when a user can enter a character variable in upper or lower case, you, the programmer, get to choose what you're going to convert it to. I generally use 2 upper. You can use 2 lower. Those are on page 133 in your textbook, and you see right here I have the page number for you in case you've forgotten how to do a 2 upper or 2 lower. So after the department is entered, then we want to convert the department to upper. So if it's in uppercase, it would remain in uppercase. If they enter in lowercase, then it remains in lowercase. It would go to uppercase, excuse me. So use 2 upper to switch the department to uppercase no matter which case is entered. Or again, you could use 2 lower and switch it to lowercase. That is a programmer preference. Once the department is in the format you like, it specifically tells you to use the switch. Now, a switch is a very neat way of doing if statements, right? So you have learned if, and now we're requiring you to use a switch statement. Now, I have not followed the switch statement syntax perfectly because this is an algorithm. Algorithms don't have all the detail that your program will have, so keep that in mind. So, but I did put the switch statement in, and I did that just to make it easier than doing if statements, because you have to do a switch statement. So again, you're going to have to look in your textbook, and I'm going to put the page number 175. And the reason I'm going to do that is so you can reference back to the actual syntax when you are coding. So switch department means I am going to use the department variable in this switch statement. Then every time you use a case, it's like saying if. So this is like saying if switch equal A, if switch equal B, if switch equals C, if switch equal D. Just a different way of doing the if. A and B are written like this because in this case, A and B get the same raise. So if it's department A or B, they get the same percentage raise. So instead of coding it twice, I can let it just fall through. So in effect, this means if case is A or case is B, this is what we do. Now, some of these, yes, could be written a different way. I could set up the switch structure a very different way, but this is a really easy way to think about it the way I have it. So if it's an A or B, then the percentage is 2%. You cannot write 2 and a percentage point in a calculation. So keep in mind that 2% is 0.02. So how do you calculate the raise? Well, that would be the salary times the raise percentage up here. And then I am asking you to show the raise percentage and the raise. Your book only asks for the raise amount. Why am I asking for raise percentage too? Because it will just help you check that your program is operating correctly. Okay? So we're going to show the raise percentage and the raise. Now, can you really just put out two numbers and everyone know what that is? No, you're going to have a sentence with that says the raise percentage is, so your raise amount is. Okay? Remember, I'm doing the pseudocode. If your if your department is a C, then the raise percentage is 1.5%. That's how you write that. Again, you would calculate the raise and display the raise percentage and the raise. What is this break doing? I forgot to mention it before. You see it I have on every case. Okay, well that means don't go any further. So basically, if it were department A or B, I would execute these statements, and then when I hit break, I would go all the way to the end outside the switch. So I don't have to process anything more here. The same things happen for case A, B as C and D. Different percentage amounts, but we still calculate raise and we display the raise percentage and we get out. At the bottom, you have what is called default, meaning the person or user entered something that was not an A, B, C, or D. In this case, we would want to put out a message to them saying an incorrect department was chosen. And we calculate nothing because we don't want to calculate anything or put out any amounts if their department was not correct because we wouldn't know what to point out, okay? So that's sort of how this flows for this program, Chapter 6, Number 7. And this is the algorithm for it.